Welcome back to a brand new episode. Today we will be looking at Garruk, Wrath of the Wilds, and this Garruk was printed exclusively for Arena in the Alchemy set, so I don't see many of this guy roaming around, which is pretty cool, so I thought I'd make the deck and showcase him a bit. So if you've not seen him, it's turn green for 3 loyalty walker, +1, choose a creature card in your hand, it perpetually gains +1/+1 and 1 less to cast, so it's kind of like a ramp, bit like a green mana reduction, yeah, bit of a weird ability, but pretty cool. If you notice, all the monocolor planeswalkers from Alchemy have a perpetual ability. -1, draft a card from Garruk, Wrath of the Wild spellbook, put it into the battlefield. That's kind of crazy because you can right click on Alchemy cards, I don't know if you knew this, and it shifts through all the different cards you can get. Obviously, putting one of these onto the battlefield is pretty awesome, to be honest, because you can do it, 3 times in a row and get so much value from this. So it's a really cool ability, even if the cards don't seem that powerful alone. When Garruk makes them, I assure you that it will feel powerful. And his minus is basically an overrun, which is a classic ultimate you've seen on previous cards before. So the deck is essentially a good stuff green deck, and it has literally the best cards you can find in green. Obviously, we've got Great Henge, which is just uber powerful, draws you cards, gain your life. God Eternal Ronus is a great win con to double the power of each creature you control. Swing in. Cavalier of Thorns, one of the best blockers in the game, gives you a land when it comes in, and if it dies you can put your best card on top of your deck. Some other cool stuff like Sareth to give your untapped creatures hexproof, which is very valid against decks with a lot of removal. So yeah, the deck list will be in the description below. It's essentially good green stuff, the deck, and this is going to sound weird me saying this, but this kind of feels... It almost feels like a blue deck. You can draw so much with green now, it is just absurd. I don't know what they've done to green, but somehow green is better than blue. It's probably format specific, like in Legacy and Vintage, this might not be true, but green is definitely the best colour in Magic right now, and you can just see by the amount of cards in this deck that they just do everything. Every green card does everything, and it's powerful and fantastic. If you like green, that is. If you don't like green, it's a bit sadder. But yeah, let's get into the games and stay tuned for afterwards to see my post-game discussion. Cool. Oh, and just thought I'd add to the end of this video, I now have a Ko-fi account, so if anyone fancies donating just a couple of quid to me, that'll be really awesome. Really helps me, gives me support, and also it eventually, if I do get enough donations, it can contribute to opening more packs, and then that means making more decks, and then you can see all of your favourite commanders. So yeah, the description for the Ko-fi account will be in the description. It's a bit like Patreon, and the good thing is that they take no money off me as a creator, so they don't take a cut unless I choose to go on a premium route. Anyway, that's the end of that. Let's get into the games. Okay, so we go first against Narset the Ancient Way with a very bad hand, so we're going to mulligan this. This seems a bit better just because we've got some ramp into the Garruk will be pretty good. Turn 3 Garruk is always nice versus a control build. Because, Planeswalkers are pretty tricky to deal with sometimes. They do have Narset, which can deal 2 damage to anything, I think. Any target, but they do have to discard. So we'll keep this. And we also have the Corner Barons, which is a fantastic anti-control card because it avoids sorcery speed removal. Getting the Kogla out is going to be nice as well because Garruk can make it 1 cheaper and give it +1/+1. No blue mana, that's kind of crazy.
Foxes.
So I could...
I hunt bigger game.
What's going to be better? If they go for Narset, I think we want the creature now.
Oh, hope I'm not ruining your little camping trip.
So yeah, let's go for the Dark-Eyed Troll. So yeah, the logic there is if they go for the Narset here, with the blue mana out, then we can take her down easier. Making the Kogla cheaper doesn't really help us yet. I think Kogla's a lot better versus opponent's creature decks as well. Against control, not so great. So they still don't have any blue mana. But they're foretelling a spell. I think this is a good time to tick
This
up, just because I want to avoid
territory.
Narset's 2 damage. So we can't cultivate and bestiary in the same turn. Okay, yeah, I think bestiary is better just because it can gain us some cards. We can swing in for a bit of life gain here. It's very likely that this one of these foretell cards is the board wipe, Doomscar. So Gem Razor. Yeah, I'm happy to keep that on top because we can mutate and kill the Mind Stone. That could be enough to just win the game here.
The trail is fresh.
Ooh, these are all good. But I think I want to cultivate here first. So annoyingly, Lifecrafter's Bestiary says cast, draw a card. Yeah, so we didn't get one just for that. But I'm happy to wait just a little bit longer to destroy their artifacts because they still don't have the blue source. Ah, so speak of the devil. Here comes Narset. So Narset could just kill Garruk. Okay, so she's choosing to tick up. Elder Gargoth. Yet another good creature versus control. So only 3 damage to Narset. Let's see if we can deal that said damage here. I could have actually used the Crawling Barons to activate and attack in as well.
I have no pity.
But I think I'm happy at making my creatures cheaper because if they do board wipe, it's going to be a lot better for post board wipe. But yeah, I think now would be a good time to kill the Mind Stone, especially when they can't crack it to draw a card. Fantastic, and the Tamiyo safekeeping should ensure that we keep our Gem Razor in the following turn. So it's really important to keep protection spells like this up against control shells, because you never know how likely it is that you'll keep the things that you cast.
To open the mind,
so this is probably the extra turn card here, if they just went for 6. But they won't get the 1/1s. Khan's Temporal Sundering, so definitely going to protect this. So it is an extra turn, but at least we keep our creature. So yeah, that was important because now it means we still have a creature out, obviously. So once again, ramping to 6 mana. This could very well be the extra turn spell, Alrund's Epiphany. Not quite sure. Could be the counter. It is somewhat annoying that most blue decks just go for the extra turn spells because it's kind of boring for me personally. That's 2 extra turn spells they've just used. So now they can ramp to 7 mana. Is it just going to be another extra turn spell here? Okay, so because they foretold it, they do get the birds. I'm not going to lie, I don't really know what's happened to Magic. It's just extra turn spells. But there you go. Looking at all of our permanents, so what could it be that... Taking up again.
Let me help you practice.
So 1 extra turn spell in a row is, is powerful, but they just did 3, which is, it's pretty rough to come back from 3 turns in a row, because they've also drawn 3 cards. Cleansing Nova, killing all the creatures, okay, and an apparition. So they're looking to ultimate their Narset here. which is definitely not good news for us. Oh, questing beast. Questing beast. So we can make that even stronger, can't we? Yeah, let's make the questing beast cheaper so then we can give it the shadow spear. That's going to help. I really hope they don't have a counter spell or something here. So do we draw or do we... Yeah, I'm happy to draw because it has haste anyway, and we can Blizzard Brawl the apparition. And then that's 6 damage going into the Narset. And what's the wording? When it deals common damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to a creature or planeswalker. So we might as well equip it and then swing it at them. And then this will deal just enough damage to kill the Narset, that was a very lucky top deck there.
Alas,
and we gained double the life. That was 14 we just gained. I'm not sure the life gain really matters, but it was a nice addition. And 6 toughness is nothing to sneeze at either, because, you know, red cards can deal 4 to 5 damage maximum. So now they're going to rely on the white and blue cards to bounce or exile the questing beast. So it turns out making cards in your hand cheaper is really powerful with this Garruk. Smothering Tithe. I wonder what they're trying to ramp into here. That's kind of scary. And I will pay 2. Let's make our creatures even cheaper. And then I think I'm also going to swing in with the Crawling Barons as well. I don't want to fall into the pitfall that is playing way too many powerful creatures. All the opponent will do from there is just board wipe, and then it's doom for us. So ironically, they took 4 turns in a row, but then they gave us a free turn by playing the Smothering Tithe. Ooh, Ral. Ral could potentially be very powerful depending on if they had extra turn spells or not in their hand.
I am judge, jury, and electrocutioner.
Definitely Clarion. Okay, so that deals enough damage to kill our questing beast. That's a shame. And they can ping our Garruk as well. It's pretty impressive they managed to do that, but yeah, that's just... ooh. Do I just give them the treasure here? I think we just give it to them because I want my mana to be free. Don't pay. So definitely activate the Crawling Barons. And I think this is a good time to make a creature as well. So we're going to swing in to kill the Ral. So because the Truffle Snout was free, I'm tempted to just go for the Gargaroth here anyway. Because if they board wipe, they do kill, you know, our amazing Gargaroth, but then we just can follow up with a Kogler following turn. Authority of the Consoles feels like that's a little bit too late here. And a Narset. Will Narset target the Garruk here?
By bringing its traditions
Quite possible.
Think, then act.
No. So are they just dead here? Oh, back in a second. Okay, so I'm back. And let's see what we can do here. Maybe tick up to try and get to that ultimate. That ultimate might help us.
Pity for you. I can handle the wild.
Activate the Crawling Barons. And then we can give the spear And yeah, we can just totally ignore the Narset. And that's game. That was pretty close. If there'd another board wipe there, that would have been terrible. We go first against Sam at Voice of Dissent. So they're going to be a pretty aggressive red, white, green deck, giving everything haste, and they can untap stuff, so they might have untapped mechanics. Our starting hand is not too bad. We've got a turn 2 play into turn 3. Probably should have taken the command tower out of here, as this is actually probably worse than the forest, but oh well, it still taps the green. So we could go for the Bark-Hide Troll, but I like the idea of getting either the Garruk or the Vivian out. This is quite a good start, to be honest, especially now they haven't got any plays, to be honest. Paladin class is not really going to stop us. So yeah, I think I'm happy to go for Garruk. And somewhat crazily, his -1 just gives us a random creature, which is awesome. What do we want against them? I think Death Touch is going to be handy. I'm basing that on the fact that they'll have lots of creatures. The Double Strike won't be affected by the Death Toucher, but they might have other creatures that can be affected. The Paladin class would suggest they have a Go Word strategy, because it has the Anthem at level 2. Fateful Absence gets rid of our dude. But that's okay. Ooh, we've got the Kura here. So Kura, when it dies, search your library for 3 lands. That's basically reverse ramp. Puts the land into your hand. Although it doesn't ramp, it just puts them into your hand. Maybe that's the best play still. Because if that does die, we can ensure some land drops later on. It's probably the most underwhelming of all the Kamigawa dragons from the latest set. I just don't really find this exciting. Flying Death Touch is a strange combination as well. Death Touch on a 4/4 fly, I'm not really sure about that. How many flyers really are there that you're going to stop with this? Knight of Autumn's going to kill the Arcane Signet, so that is a shame. Okay, so we have to be careful because Summit has haste and it gives all other creatures haste. And it's a 3/4 flash double strike, right? What should we do? Well, I think we definitely need to cultivate here. Seeing as we've missed a couple of land drops, which is always something that I keep facing lately, which is kind of annoying. But that's just arena for you. And I'm going to leave Cure up as a defender in case they choose to attack with anything. So maybe that's what the Death Touch on the flying really is, but... Ooh, Kura's going to exile something. That is pretty annoying, but we do have a way to kill it. So we can go for the Vivian and then use it to fight the Brutal Cathar.
Nature will take back what rightfully belongs to it.
So we're going to do that now to ensure we have a good blocker again. And to be honest, that was lucky because I should have probably gone for Yorvo first to get the counter. But well, moving on to the next game. Rewarded for a misplay, unfortunately, for them. Okay, we go first against Professor Onyx. This could be a tough matchup. Starting hand, let's go for the Gilded Goose. And then next turn we could play the Forest into the Florahedron, or we could just play this as a land. So because I drew a land, I'm happy to just go ahead and play this. So we have a lot of mana already. This is kind of absurd. 5 mana, what would be the best thing to do? I think Cavalier is a great choice. So yeah, we get another land. So you couldn't really dream of any faster ramp than this, to be honest. Turn 1 into turn 2 into turn 3 ramp, and now we have loads of mana. This is very important against black, although if they have a board wipe, then it does, you know, scupper us quite a bit. So they're going to kill our dude. And then, do we want to put another card on top of the deck? I feel as though 4/5 Jugan. Maybe Jugan's cool to keep on top. I do like this card. I'm not going to play it yet. Instead, I'm going to go for the Kura here. And then swing in for 1. So remember, they only have 3 mana, so they're still a ways off going for the Onyx. Hedron Archive, so they can Onyx next turn. Or they could just quit the game there and then. Moving on. We go first against the Kodama of the West Tree. Starting hand is borderline terrible, but the Cold Steel Heart kind of makes up for that. Extra foreign guy. I'm not sure how racist that gamer tag is, but you know, it's not been banned, so I suppose it's acceptable. Kind of a weird name though. I mean, most gamer tags are weird, let's face it, but you know, extra foreign guy. Is that someone who's... I don't even know how to interpret that name. I'm not going to even try. I'll let you work it out. So we're now playing top trumps in his mind. He's going, ooh, Garruk, Kodama, Garruk, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to playing the game. Very cool artwork. A lot of elves, perhaps. Stonecore Serpent. Okay, so that's a modified creature. So every time a modified creature they control deals damage, put a basic into play. It's very powerful. Ninjutsu. Wow, okay. So deals combat damage, choose land or non-land, seek a permanent of that kind. That's mental. So let's go for Sarith. It's going to be quite a nice way to protect our things. Unfortunately, she doesn't give herself hexproof. 4/4, okay. Wow, this is basically the green version of Robber of the Rich, but on their own deck. Very powerful. And yeah, let's go for a Garruk. Make a blocker. Death Touch will do here. And pass the turn. So Death Touch is very good against green because green's kill spells all involve fighting. Well, to be honest, there has been a bit of a renaissance lately in green in that they do a lot of things that just deal damage equal to power. So that would be annoying, but we do have Sarith to protect this. So to kill the Underdark Basilisk, I'll have to go through Sarith first. I do wish we pulled another forest, but missing that, yeah, kind of makes it a bit sad. So they've just added 7 mana for creatures. They could go for a huge Stonecore Serpent. Yeah, thought as much. Okay, so we hit a land. Protection from multicoloured, but not protection from Vivian Reed's bow, which is very convenient for us.
Draw and fire.
And once again, we'll create another dude.
Kill or be killed.
I guess Dawn Treader Out could be nice, as this lets us ramp later on. So I feel like Sarith is annoying them. Storm the Festival, so this could be scary. Let's hope they don't get a Questing Beast. Please not a Questing Beast. 2 lands, what? That's kind of weird. So lands with the... I find it hard to believe, but... Okay, let's uptick with Vivian first. Let's find some
my
land or some
newest
good...
friend.
We've got our own rich car, but I think a land is more effective here. Let's make something in our hand cheaper.
The trail
Probably
is
the
fresh.
Gargaroth here.
I'll leave
6
your
mana.
bones in my wake.
So we can go for the Gargaroth and then our elves. And we can hold up the green to activate the Dawn-Tread Elk. This will give us an extra land on the battlefield, which is very important. Let's hope they don't have a way to break our defences. I think killing Rishkar will be the next step in winning, because they can tap for additional mana for each creature they have with counters on them. And it's modified, which helps the Kodama of the West Tree trigger getting more lands. Eventually we could be at a point where the God Eternal Ronus becomes very powerful. Tome of Legends, okay. We're still in a very good position here. They don't have any Death Touch themselves. Hardened Scales, okay. So we haven't really seen many cards in the deck that give counters yet, but this could soon change in the following turn. So let's activate the Dawn-Tread Elk to get a forest. So yeah, we get a forest to the battlefield. Ooh, Primal Might. This is a fantastic card, especially combined with the God Eternal Ronus. So I could kill one of these, but I'm going to be greedy and tick up. I still want lands,
No
and
one
finding
knows
those
the
is going to
wilds
be...
like I do.
Oh wow, Gem Razor. Goodness. Land or Gem Razor? Oh, I'm going to be greedy here. So first go for Manglehorn. This will kill the Tome. And getting rid of their artifacts is very important. Especially Tome of Legends. Because artifacts help green do things they're not meant to. Although saying that, green can draw all the time either way. And then on top of that, it's 3 to mutate, isn't it? Yep, so let's mutate. What should we choose? I guess we can boost the Manglehorn. Why not? And then we can kill the Hardened Scales. So this makes me a lot less scared of what they would be doing. And then we can also... Happy to just pay 0. And then I'll make the Gargaroth fight their Gargaroth. Very nice. And yeah, and then we can now make the God Eternal Ronus a bit cheaper. Hexproof, Vigilant, Reach, Trample. So if I attack, they might block. So yeah, I'm not happy to do that. I'm not trading the Gargaroth for their Kodama. That is not worth my Gargaroth, unfortunately. So they can go for this Storm here, and let's fingers crossed I don't get anything too insane. Servant of the Scale. Okay, I think we've probably won the game then in that case. Sweet. Yeah, that was pretty lucky. Being able to systematically shut down all of their threats is very important. Make sure you kill the right things, and there you go, get yourself to a victory. We go first against Alayla, and we have Llanowar Rolls on turn 1, which means this is a God Hand. And then the next turn we could go for Jugan, but I think... Yeah, I think we go for Jugan. Oh dear. Yeah, we'll go for Jugan here. Ultimate Rampage. So if we draw a land, we'll have 5 mana on turn 3. which is awesome. They've got white, blue open. That could mean any number of things. So let's go for the bait spell first. They're not interested in countering that. So we go for the rush car. Counter this, of course. Memory lapse. Oh, they love a good memory lapse, don't they? Do you know what? I don't even know if memory lapse is that good in this format. Rush car isn't. In that instance, that is. So it's 2-2. And they can't attack with this yet, so I think we go for Garruk first.
Let's play a game of hide. The trail is fresh.
And Death Touch will be nice. Pay 2, so make this a considerable beater. This is actually very powerful, being able to put counters on any creatures that come in. Obviously, if they board wipe, we are screwed. We will lose 4 really awesome creatures. Alayla comes down to play. And yeah, we'll put a God of Channel Runners in for free. And we shall pay... you know what? I'm going to pay all of it. Kind of awesome, right? And then... yep, we'll draft another card. Garruk's Uprising means we draw a card. Fantastic. Now we can swing in. Without any hindrance. Because they've all got Vigilance as well. I'm happy with that trade. They can't cast a Faithman Judge until they have 7 mana from the graveyard anyway. And... am I just setting myself up for a board wipe here? Awesome. Yep, that was pretty awesome. Okay, so welcome back to the post-game reviews, or review. And so what did I think of this deck? This is very powerful. The fact that you can just -3 times to get 3 random creatures, or even, you know, the value is crazy for 4 mana. 3 creatures for 4 mana over 3 turns. I really like that. It's a shame he's not played. I've never ever faced a Garruk Wrath of the Wilds deck. But I really like him. Making stuff cheap in your hand. It's very good as well, being able to decrease the cost of your huge curve creatures. It can also make you build differently, right? So you could put more expensive things in. One route that I was toying with this deck was actually making an artifact build, because it doesn't care what color the creature is. You can make a robots deck, make them all 1 cheaper, which is really handy. I would say don't put too many cards in your deck that are like Steel Leaf Champion, because you can never reduce their mana cost. You can perpetually give them +1/+1, which is really cool. But yeah, not being able to make these cheaper really hurts. Casting a 1 mana Aronis is awesome though, if you can do it a couple of times on Aronis in your hand. But yeah, I think the thing it suffers from the most is board wipes, but that, you know, that's true of every aggro-ish deck. But I had a lot of fun with this deck. But yeah, tell me below if you would like to see the other Alchemy Legends as decks as well, because I think I might do some more of these. I like the design space, and I don't think they're too OP. I think they're probably OP in regular historic formats, because Perpetual in those formats in 60 card feels kind of ridiculous. But yeah, the fact he hasn't got a backbreaking ultimate is nice as well. It's a pretty balanced walker, I'd say. It's pretty good. So yeah, don't forget to leave me a like and sub to my channel if you like what I'm doing. Really supports me. And don't forget to check out my Ko-fi if you want to donate anything to me as well. That will be in the description below. Thanks to anyone who takes a look at those. And yeah, I should hopefully see you next time. Bye.
If you enjoyed watching this video, why not try some of my other videos on my channel? And don't forget to support me by hitting the like and subscribe button for more content like this.